Hey, good day, folks. Hope everyone's doing well today. Uh, for those of you that don't like my windshield wipers going, I'm sorry. It is what it is. I gotta be able to see where I'm going out here. Uh, as some of you may realize, I am down here in Alabama, and the part of Alabama where I'm driving through currently got hit with some snow. I believe they got a good couple of inches. And where I'm at in Alabama, it barely snows. It might snow once every 10 years or so like this. So yeah, a lot of businesses around here are closed down for the day. A lot of people for the last day or so around here have been panicking due to this snowstorm. And a lot of people down here are not used to the snow. They don't know how to drive in it. Earlier today, there was a huge accident off of Interstate 65, which I didn't get to record any of that footage because when that accident happened, I was not around that area. I just heard from a couple of people at a gas station in where I was at that there was an accident and there's a 20-car pileup and a few people passed on as a result. So So, for those of you that live in the deep south, all I can say is, if this is your first time driving through the snow, I know it's easier said than done, but don't panic. Just just drive slower. Just drive slower than what you would normally drive. And if anybody rides your tail because you're driving too slow, so what? Let them pass you up, because I can guarantee you guys there is not anywhere that you need to be that is going to be more important than your safety. I know some of you might have to go to work today because you work in because your company, you might work like in a medical field or whatever, to where you have to be to work regardless of the climate. But I guarantee you, your employer will be okay if you show up a little late. And even if they write you up or they threaten to terminate you, I'm not encouraging people to just not show up just because. However, just bear one thing in mind. You can get another job, but you will not be able to replace your life. I know that's a little drastic, but I'm just saying. And just looking at the price of vehicles, I would say for many people, it would be a challenge financially to replace your vehicle if you total your vehicle. So if you got to go to work today, leave plenty early. Depending on how far your job is from your house, you might want to allow an extra maybe 20 minutes to a half hour, especially if you haven't driven through snow before. I mean, here in Alabama, at least for Alabama where I'm driving through, apparently they don't believe in plowing the roads, because I have not seen a plow all day around here. And right now I am driving by a gas station that is closed. Yes, a gas station right off of a major road is closed because of the snow. I ain't never, I gotta say, I ain't never seen no shit like that before. And up the street here, if you can see, there's a Dollar General store that is also closed down. You may not be able to see it real well because I'm not using my normal camera. I mean, the camera that I normally use to do these type of vlogs, I forgot to bring with me. So my apologies, people. Forgive me. I'm just simply working with the equipment that I have. So, but yeah, there's a Dollar General up here which is closed. And since no one bothered to plow the parking lot, I'm not going to attempt to try to drive through the lot to show you guys that the store is closed. You'll just have to take my word. So for those of you that are wanting to move here to Alabama because you want to escape the snowy, the colder climate of the north, I mean the part of Alabama where I'm at, it doesn't snow real often at all. It snows like this once every 10 years where I'm at. So if you move to certain parts of, I'll just put it like this. If you move to certain parts of Alabama, as you guys can see, you're not going to see a bunch of snow plows and salt trucks out clearing the roads. And there's going to be a bunch of businesses that will close down. I mean, right now, there's like maybe, depending on where you're at, there's like, here in Alabama, depending on where you're at, there's like maybe, I want to say 1 to 2 inches of snow on the ground. And when it snows like this down here, I mean, obviously, for those of you that are from northern states, this type of snow is no big deal. The salt trucks are out, the snow plows are out, and you're just going with your life and just drive accordingly. Down here, when it snows, people down here freak out. Or, many of your businesses are closed. Like gas station I just drove by a couple of minutes ago, that's closed. So down here, you won't even be able to rely on gas stations. So if you're going to live here in Alabama, or for that matter, if you're going to live anywhere in the deep south, whenever you hear or whenever you look at your phone and you see that it's going to snow, it's going to behoove you to fill up your vehicle the night before. Because on the day of, you're thinking, okay, well, if it snows, whatever, I'll stop off at the gas station and I'll gas up real quick. And down here in the deep south, down here in many parts of the deep south, that ain't how it works. Like down here, if it snows, there's going to be a lot of people calling off their job. There's going to be a lot of companies closing their business down, even to include gas stations. And as you guys can see, there's no plow trucks out here. There's no salt trucks out here. And there's still a few people out here driving like they done lost their sense. So like I said, just drive at a speed you're for those of you that never driven through snow before, drive at a speed you're comfortable with. I don't care what the speed limit is. I don't care how fast the person behind you is going. I don't care. Whatever speed you're comfortable with, that's the speed you need to be driving when it snows. Especially when you're driving on a road that's not plowed. I mean, even as I speak right now, I just slid a little bit. I mean, there's somebody coming behind me, which, you know, I'm hoping that they got some sense and they slow down. Because, I mean, I've been told that there's been all kind of accidents. Because, like I said, like a lot of people down here they're not used to snow. They're not used to driving in snow. So I thought I would just show you guys some footage of snow in Alabama. And just give you some tips of how to stay safe out here. Like this is the person behind me that slid. And now they're driving a lot slower. I mean, there's people down here that are getting hotels for the night because they might have to drive a half hour to an hour from their job, and you know, they don't want to risk driving in this snow. And I would say one thing that makes driving in the snow harder here in Alabama compared to, let's say, the Midwest where I'm from, is the fact that down here when it snows, there's no plows, there's nobody salting these roads, there's nobody plowing the roads. And on top of that, Alabama is a little bit more hillier, and the roads are more curvier than, you know, than many parts of the Midwest. And right now, just for the record, I am still driving down a fairly heavily traveled road, and still no salt trucks, no plows, none of that. I mean, down here when it snows, everybody, I don't know, it seems like for a lot of people, life stops. And again, I'm sorry for the video quality, but I forgot to bring my camera, so I'm just working with the equipment that I have available right now. I mean, it's coming down pretty hard. I mean, it's coming down pretty hard right now. And from what I understand, I believe many parts of Alabama got hit, along with Georgia, Mississippi, and I could be wrong, but I think even parts of the Florida Panhandle got hit with this storm too. Oh, sorry for the wipers. Like I said, I gotta keep them on so I can see where I'm going. Like right now, I'm driving over a bridge. So I'm going extra slow. All right, folks, I'll catch you all later. Everybody be safe.
In the town of Greenville and Monet, that is the site of an accident that happened earlier today. We're not clear on whether or not the accident was a result of the winter weather. We do know, however, it shut down Interstate 65 where you are. What's the latest?
Well, Mark, far as the latest, we know that one fatality was confirmed. We have not learned the identity of that person yet. We know that there was a total of at least 15 cars involved, and apparently that total kept adding up because a lot of these people, they would come up on it and slide and try to hit the brakes, and they would slide right into that pile up. And we spoke with a couple of people earlier who were coming back to Mobile from Atlanta, and unfortunately they had to stop and spend the night here in Greenville because of the fact that they can only drive as far as they could before traffic was shut down. The law enforcement has been on the interstate redirecting traffic off of the highway and onto the Greenville exit, because they closed the exit from here down to the second exit, which is also called the Pineapple exit. And so, of course, if you don't need to be on the roads today, there is absolutely no reason for you to be out here unless it's an emergency, because these roads have been pretty much impassable since the snow really started accumulating. Because I can see right here, it's accumulated a lot since you and I last chatted. Like, this is literally a bush that's covered in snow, and I can guess there's probably about like 2 to 3 inches of snow piled up right here. And if you look out towards the pool over here, it is covered in snow over here. So, but luckily nobody is going swimming today. And let's just talk about the fact that the hotel that we're staying, we had pretty much nobody here this morning when we arrived. But the moment the snow started to accumulate and traffic started to get really backed up, we started to see more people start to check into these hotels, start to book rooms, because they realized they're not going to be able to go anywhere for the next couple of days. We might not be able to go anywhere for the next couple of days. And so if you're at home right now, this is probably where you're going to have to be for the next couple of days. Or if you're on the road in whatever destination that you're going to be at, you might want to consider staying there for a while, because the roads are considered impassable here in Butler County. So do us all a favor, save law enforcement and all the first responders all the stress, and just stay off the roads. I know, as Julia mentioned, that there's people from the north and there's people who are like me who've had their stint in winter weather and all that driving, but it's nothing compared to what's going on down here, because of the fact that Alabama is not equipped for this type of weather. And I talked with Mayor Dexter McClendon today about that, and he pretty much said the same thing. First responders, police, fire, they're not equipped for this type of weather. So it's going to be pretty difficult to try to navigate through this, to try to respond to calls, especially during the emergency. So just the best way to avoid an emergency is to not be out here. You can enjoy the snow from the comfort and the safety of your own home, enjoy it in the backyard, get some great pictures. I know I'm actually receiving a couple of pictures pretty soon from some folks that are enjoying the snow down in Monroe and Clark County. So, Mark, Valerie, I think, this is just the best opportunity for you guys to stay at home, catch up on a few shows, maybe enjoy your favorite dish. I know you guys will probably have to not go anywhere for the next couple of hours, but I'm sure everybody else can still enjoy it.
It is still snowing, as we can see in the live picture, and so it could get worse as we move into the evening hours. Monet Stevens reporting live from Greenville. Thank you for that update. Of course, our thoughts and prayers